All right, we're going to do the solutions for the practice quiz for sections 3, 5, and 3, 6, all about matrices. So here we have 5, 8, 3 minus the matrix negative 2, 7, 9. All we need to do is subtract. In order to subtract two matrices, they have to be the same size. So it's just 5 minus negative 2, which is 7, 8 minus 7, which is 1, and then 3 minus 9, which is negative 6. Okay, so match up the parts and subtract. Number 2, we're multiplying negative 5, which we consider a scalar, by each term in the matrix. So multiplying a matrix by a scalar. So all you do is take every term in the matrix and multiply it by negative 5. So negative 30, negative 20, 5. Negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10. Negative 5 times 0 is 0. Negative 5 times 8 is negative 40. Okay, so the result is the same dimensions, or has the same dimensions as the original. Number 3 is only slightly more complicated. We should multiply everything in the second matrix by 11 first. So I'll rewrite the first matrix, 10, 3, 22, negative 7, minus, then multiplying everything in the second matrix by 11, 22, 44, 55, and negative 33. All right, last step is just to subtract. 10 minus 22 is negative 12. 22 minus 44 is negative 22. 3 minus 55 is negative 52. And negative 7 minus negative 33. Well, subtracting a negative is like adding a positive, so negative 7 plus 33 is 26. All right, so that's number 3. Now number 4. If we're adding two matrices together, they have to be exactly the same size so we can match up the terms. Well, here we have an extra 1 in this element in this row and nothing to match it up with. Since this is a 2 by 3 and this is a 3 by 2, the dimensions don't match and this is just not defined. So we can't do that. All right, now for 5, 6, 7, and 8, we're going to be multiplying those together. Okay, so then when we multiply these two matrices together, we multiply each row by each column. This is a 2 by 2, and we're multiplying it by 2 by 2. The internal dimensions match, so the result is going to be a 2 by 2, so we can set that up. So 5 times 10 is 50, 4 times 1 is 4, 50 plus 4 is 54. First row, first column, so in the result it goes in the first row, first column. Then we can take the first row and multiply it by the second column. 5 times 4 is 20, 4 times 3 is 12, 20 plus 12 is 22. Since that was combining the first row and the second column, it goes in the resultant matrix in the first row and second column. All right, now to fill out the second row. Negative 3 times 10 is negative 30. 2 times 1 is 2. Negative 30 plus 2 is negative 28. All right, and finishing it up, negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. 2 times 3 is 6. Negative 12 plus 6 is negative 6. All right, good deal. So, number 6. We're going to multiply this 2-row by 3-column matrix times 1 with 3 rows and 2 columns. So the dimensions match. So the result is going to be a 2 by 2. So we can set that up right away. Make everything a little bit simpler to understand. So we're going to combine each row from the first and each column from the second. So 5 times 2 is 10. Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. 2 times 1 is 2. 10 minus 15 is negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. Now in the second row, or I'm sorry, second column with the first row, 5 times 10 is 50. Then negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. And 8 times 2 is 16. So 50 minus 12 is 38. Plus 16. Let's see, 54. So we should get there. Okay, moving on to the second row. We'll do that with each column. 11 times 2 is 22. 7 times 5 is 35. And 0 times 1 is 0. So 22 plus 35 is 57. And then the second row times the second column to finish this matrix up. 10 times 11 is 110. 7 times 4 is 28. 0 times 8 is 0. So don't have to worry about that. Add them together, you get 138. Get that in there. Alright, so that's number 6. Only a couple more left to do. Alright, on this one, number 7 is actually one of the harder ones to do. It looks simpler because there's fewer numbers, but this has 3 rows and 1 column, and you're multiplying it by something with 1 row and 2 columns. Okay, the row and columns match that need to, but the result's going to be a 3 by 2. So 3 rows, 2 columns. Okay, so when you think of this, do the rows like this and the columns, you realize that there's only 1 element in each row and 1 in each column. 2 times 2 is 4. Then we move down to the second row. That's the number of the column. 2 times 5 is 10. Then 3 times 2 is 6. Then we just move on to the second column. 2 times 4 is 8. 5 times 4 is 20. And 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, so that's how that one works. All right, number 8. If I multiply these together, and I combine the rows with the columns, and apparently the dimensions don't match. So let's look at that. This is a 3 by 2. This has 3 rows and 1 column. The internal dimensions, the number of columns in the first doesn't match the number of columns in the second. So this cannot be done. So we say this is not defined. All right. Now, these last 2 problems, all you have to remember is R comes before C. Like in RC Cola, remote control, and Spencer, what was that one you said? Rodeo Clown. Okay. So 2 rows, 5 columns, so it's a 2 by 5. That's it. And this one, 1, 2, 3 rows, 1 column, so it's a 3 by 1. Those are the simplest problems. Don't get them mixed up. You want to get those right. Okay, good luck on the quiz. See you Tuesday.